everybody. It's your bearded brothers, and we are back yet again with yet another sports podcast for your listening and viewing pleasure. Although I don't know that viewing us would be much of a pleasure. I'm
going to judge you if it is.
like, for my wife, this is probably awesome. For everybody else, you're like, ew, who would marry you? I, of course, am Matt. That is my biological bearded brother.
I'm a thing that's here.
He's apparently alive. And we're not quite sure. If he stops breathing, let us know. But that is Chris, and on his shoulder, of course, is our mascot, Loki.
The only reason anybody would view us.
The only reason that anybody watches this is for the bird, and we all know that. Today, we are here. We are not going to be covering the MLB trade deadline, although we could. The problem with it is it's pretty much as everybody would expect it to be. The sellers have been obvious for quite a while now, and the buyers have been obvious for quite a while now. And there isn't suddenly a team that went from seller to buyer or buyer to seller. Everybody knows where everybody is, and so everything that's moving is expected to be moved. I will say, I think my favorite and most surprising team currently is the Mariners, because they are absolutely smashing the shit out of the ball this year. Yeah, they're actually really, 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 really good. They put together several good drafts in a row. They put together several, they put together a good deep prospect pool, and now it's coming home to roost. Good for them. The Twins, of course, their rotation completely fell apart with injuries. Tanked their whole season, so they are now selling like a taco vendor at a fat convention.
It's a choice. That's a choice of a combo there.
I was trying to figure out how to work that.
I wouldn't say it was really successful, but it wasn't a failure either,
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Could have been significantly worse, yeah.
Could have been a lot better.
Definitely could have been better, yeah. But that's okay. We're not perfect.
Obviously not. But there are a few minor things to talk about. There have been some injuries. The Dolphins lost yet another cornerback to an ACL injury. I don't even remember his name. I just know that they lost another one to an ACL tear, and he's done for the season.
Yep.
Let's see here. What other injuries can we talk about? What other weird things? Oh, the Bengals finally
Oh, yeah.
came to terms with Shamar Stewart. And you know what it is? They left that part of his contract in and then gave him more money up front.
Yep, give him fully guaranteed money.
Oh my God, so they could still get rid of the chunks of his deal if he misbehaves, but they also guaranteed a whole chunk of it and gave him more up front and changed out the bonus structure. Kind of like what happened with Abdul Carter. Gasp!
Why didn't we think of this sooner?
And apparently, the negotiations with Shamar Stewart being done and finally him getting his way convinced the other guy that they're negotiating with, Hendrickson, to report to camp as a goodwill gesture. So
the gasp. Things that were working out finally.
Yeah, finally, the Bengals management is starting to fold on a few things. I still don't know if it's going to be helpful, but you're fine. I still don't know if it's going to be helpful, but gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I think long term it's the right solution. I just don't know why they took so long to get there.
Also, McLaurin still has not reported to camp.
Whoop. Hmm?
Still no Terry McLaurin. Still don't
Yep.
know what's going on with him.
Doing what Scary Terry does best, being Scary Terry.
I will say that the Madden ratings, at least the rookie ratings, have dropped.
Yeah.
Um, and
Watch out. Woody might start going on a selling spree all of a sudden.
well, I will say that second overall pick tied for the highest rating in rookie Madden history. With an 84.
I mean, I'm not that shocked.
No, but I am a little shocked that they rated Cam, first overall pick, only a 72.
Just too many questions, man. We got too many questions.
And Genty is an 83.
Not shocked by that at all.
Mason Graham is an 80. And
Yeah.
there was one other guy who was like an 81. It's the big offensive lineman from LSU, I believe. And then they had some like high
Will Campbell,
70s.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Campbell I think was a 70, or it was like no, it was Abdul Carter's an 81, and then Campbell's like a 79.
Okay.
Yeah, then that sounds about right. You know, the only one that I'm shocked by is the number 1 overall pick. I think I'd have put him at like a 75, 76. I think that would have been better.
With QBs, it's just hard to know, though.
It is. So if he turns out to if Cam Ward turns out to be actually decent, expect his number to jump. Oh, by the way, Shadur Sanders is a 68.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Unless he can prove otherwise pretty damn fast, you know.
Yeah, unless you can prove otherwise pretty fast, that's how it's going to wind up being. But overall, you know, I think it's a decent class. There's always going to be people that are going to complain about things, but
well, the problem with the rookie numbers is a lot of it is just pure guesswork. You just have no idea until they play.
Exactly.
The fact that we even give them ratings, I mean, is just, again, funny because it's just basically guesswork based on college. That's it. Like, we think because of how you've performed, you may perform this way in the NFL, but we're not entirely sure.
It also has to do with numbers in college and the situation in which you're finding yourself. For example, Cam Ward finds himself on a Titans team very much in transition.
Yeah. Not exactly a great team at the moment.
That lost Traylon Burks to a broken collarbone. Through no fault of his own, it was a freak accident.
Yep.
Because Burks went up, caught the ball, high pointed it, and then came down wrong on his shoulder. Bloop. And then they cut him.
Yep. That's a thing. That's a thing they did.
That's a thing they did. And then Christian Wilkinson got cut from the Raiders.
Yep, over very bizarre circumstances.
It's something involving they weren't happy with how he rehabbed his broken foot.
Apparently, there's a lot of weirdness involved, like just in general.
Also, apparently,
with
he
that
kissed a teammate on the head.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of just weird things that apparently people found uncomfortable with him. Apparently, I don't know.
I never heard any of that until Vegas.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
Maybe he's just a weirdo.
Maybe he is, and the Dolphins just hit it real well because they're all weirdos.
To be fair, they are. That does make sense.
They very well could be. I think that's a possibility.
Maybe that's why they keep trading back for some of their players. You know, maybe they just want them back.
They're looking for weirdos.
You fit our vibe, man. Yeah.
It's like Ricky Williams left something in the locker room and it's still there to this day.
It's got that stank. Yeah, I don't know.
But one of the things that we are going to do today, and I think it's the primary thing that we're here to actually do, because again, preseason starts tonight, Hall of Fame game, Chargers-Lions, 7 o'clock Central Time. It's on Peacock.
Because so many people are gonna watch it.
NBC. Well, it's also on NBC. So
Yeah, but still,
I might watch
can't
it on.
imagine it.
I might watch it on YouTube TV. Just have it on in the background.
I don't know. It's one of the few. It's the Hall of Fame game is always one of the few preseason games where I'm just like, it's almost preseason game. Like it's almost. It
Yeah.
almost doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't really matter. I just want to see
Not that
if we
any of them
get.
really technically matter, but you know what I mean.
I want to see if we get glimpses of some of the rookies like Omari and Hampton and whatnot. I think
Yeah,
that's kind of
be
something.
nice.
Yeah, that's something I'm kind of interested in. Um, not too much on the Lions that I'm really looking for in terms of that, but I do want to see kind of how they function under the new coordinators.
I got you. I got you.
So, but we here have our 1 to 32 preseason rankings. Then, after the preseason starts, basically the end of August, like that last week of August, we'll do another podcast. Either the last week of August or the first week of September, we'll do a podcast where we do the preseason rankings and we'll prep you for everything you need to know for week 1. And from there on out, you'll probably see us as often weekly as we can do.
I mean, I have every Thursday off basically, so
All right, yeah,
as long
Thursdays would be fine.
as long as I don't get like one of those weird shift changes for some reason. I mean, I still get. I mean, yeah, there's not. Yeah, I get enough time during my week that we definitely can get one a weekend. No problem.
And I for the most
Either
part,
way.
yeah, I for the most part have seen that it's pretty easy for me to get most of my stuff finished by Thursday afternoon. I'm pretty much done with all my classwork, even when I have 2 classes in that month.
Right.
So you should be able to see us weekly here. And so I think we started at the bottom, and we go up.
Of course, make it less. Gotta make it climactic.
Of course. You wanna start your list?
Sure, I'll start mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I felt the bottom probably 4 to 5 are fairly interchangeable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're all roughly in the same various areas there. We'll see. I'm more curious to see if we have the same 4 to 5 in the roughly same areas here. So with 32, I'm going to start with the peer bottom. Saints. They're just in a full rebuild. They don't have a quarterback. We have no idea what the hell they're going to be at all. I mean, what kind of defense are they? There's just way too many questions. They could be a better team. They could legitimately be a decent team, but there's just way too many question marks with so many ifs, ands, or buts. So I'm assuming they're going to be really bad.
At number 32, I have the New Orleans Saints. I mean, your QB retires due to injury. A major piece and leader in your secondary retires. You stunk to high heaven last year, except for like the first 2 games, in which, Jesus Christ, you put up so many points. Those were like all the points that you had for the entire season, and you wasted them in 2 games.
Pretty much.
And now you have a new coach. Man, be ready for this year to be horrible. This is going to be a really bad ride to watch through a bad part of town. Now, I could be wrong. I really don't think I am.
Yeah. Yep, I'm kind of in that same vein. Looking at 31, I had a couple options, obviously, of teams I could put here, but I ultimately decided to put the Indianapolis Colts here. I just don't know what Colts general management is doing. I don't know what team they're building. Every time I think I know what they're doing, they take a veering left turn into a completely different lane. I don't anticipate this team to be very good, no matter who's behind center, to be completely honest with you. I think Daniel Jones is probably going to be the better option, at least definitely starting, but I still don't think this is going to be a very good team. You just got too many questions on defense. You got a subpar O-line at this point. I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing.
I went a different way, but of course, again, we're trying to see if these bottom like 4 or 5 teams are kind of all the same. And for me, at 31, I have the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, realistically, what did we expect? You've got a jammed up QB room full of one guy you overpaid that I don't know if he's ever going to see the field for you again. An ageless wonder who the age is going to catch up to him eventually. And 2 rookies. And Kenny Pickett.
True.
What is that QB room? I have no idea. Not only that, but the second round running back you hired to replace the one that went away got arrested for domestic violence and probably isn't going to play for a while. Bye!
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. The Browns, you're browning before the season even begins.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're definitely in my bottom area here, so that checks. That checks.
The Colts are in mine, so.
All right, let's go to 30. At 30, I have another team. There's a theme, obviously, towards my bottom, which is a lot of, I just don't know what you are. And speaking of another team that I just don't know who you are, it's the New York Giants. What's your QB room? I mean, you got Russell Wilson. Is he starting? I assume he's probably starting. But then you also have, Mr. Oh, God. I forget what his name is off the top of my head. Get me there.
Dart?
Well, no, he's the rookie. I was going to bring him up. The other one that loves to throw picks to everything. Most quarterback in the room.
Oh, Winston.
Jameis Winston, yeah.
Famous Jameis.
So you got famous Jameis, assumingly backing up Russell Wilson, but who knows? Maybe they swapped those for some reason. And then you have Jackson Dart, which we have no idea who he is. You have a defense that is fairly competent as long as they're healthy, and one good offensive weapon. I don't know, man. This is looking like a real tough year. That's all I'm gonna say.
For me, my number 30 is, although the Giants are not far off, by the way, the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Are we expecting more? No. Okay. I mean, you've got a rookie quarterback. You just lost, one of the few pass catchers that you have on this team. We'll have to see if Calvin Ridley becomes Calvin Ridley again.
Again, yeah.
Because he certainly hasn't looked like it recently.
No.
And you don't really have a running game, and I don't know what your offensive line is, and I don't know what your defense is, and rookie quarterbacks. I mean, we've had some enigmas the last 2 years. I think they're...
Yeah.
Honestly, there's been a breakout rookie in each class. And then, last year, we had several good rookies. I don't think we're going to see that again for a while. So, I don't know if Cam Ward is all that in a bag of chips.
Gonna find out.
It's going to be gut check time. But I don't think the Titans are going to do very much.
I get it. It's fair. They're not that far off either. At 29, I have, fairly predictably at this point, can't get too much higher, the Cleveland Browns. The only reason they got up here above the others and not towards the very bottom is, despite the fact that their offense is going to be completely anemic, their defense is stout as fuck. And that's the only reason that they'll be in any football games at all.
At 29, I have the Giants. And the note is, you moved up without really doing anything.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's an old quote from Jim Cornette. He was talking with Ole Anderson, and Ole told him, Cornette, I used to think you were a dumb fuck. But so many dumb fucks have come along after you that you've moved up without doing anything. That's kind of how I feel about the Giants. They do have a good defense. Abdul Carter's going to be fun to watch. Malik Neighbors is always fun to watch. I just don't know if Russ has the arm to get it to him anymore. And I don't know if Jameis is going to be able to see him to get it to him. Because apparently that's always been a problem with Jameis.
Yeah.
And I
For
don't
some
know
reason.
if by mid-season maybe we get the Jackson Dart experiment.
Yeah. Who knows?
If that happens, they
Who
might be
knows?
worth watching.
That's true. That's right.
Yep.
All right. At 28, another team that's very used to being at the bottom, the New York Jets. I mean, I just don't know what they're going to really be at this point. Yeah, we have a new coach. Yeah, we have a new quarterback with that is fairly competent, but we don't know what he's going to be like in this system. We have some decent pieces on both offense and defense, but like I just don't have a lot of faith in this team at this point in time without seeing something on paper. And by that I mean actually seeing something on the TV. So until I see a game, they're pretty low down. They could be far better than this, and I wouldn't be shocked if they do move up the list. But I just don't have the faith right now.
I feel you. So I guess the Titans were the odd one out for me and you. And
They're
for you,
literally my next one, so you know.
yeah, I got the Jets a little higher up, and I'll get there when I get there. But my next
Yeah.
one is on your bottom list. It is the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
My only blurb for them is yikes. I don't know what you guys are. What are you doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing at quarterback. I don't know if Richardson is the bust of the century.
Or they're just shit at
Or you're
shit
shit at
getting
developing.
talent out of anything. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you're trying to do. And I don't know if some of this now is because you have new ownership.
Who knows?
With the girls coming in.
Hard to say.
And I'm not trying to deride them. It's just it's his girls.
No, it's just hard to know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his daughters coming in to take over for him because he's no longer with us. If it were him, I'd make a joke about, yeah, we should expect them to take those hard lefts and weird rights because we all know that he's drunk behind the wheel.
He's kind of a weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, he did get arrested for drunk driving too. So
No, I know. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jimmers say rest in peace to him.
Well, of course. Yeah.
I'm not gonna make that joke about him right now. I will say
I just made that joke, but I'm not going to make it.
I just made that joke, but I'm not. No,
I was joking about making that joke about joking.
We do have his daughters in charge now, and the eldest
Yes.
one has apparently been pretty integrated into the organization. So
Yeah.
I don't know if some of this is because she's finally got her hands on it, and we're gonna start seeing her
Hard to know.
vision. I don't know what this is.
Hard to know. Yeah.
We're gonna have to give it a couple of seasons, I think, before we figure out what the organization is gonna do.
Yeah,
under her.
where they want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give them a few seasons, but
Right now, it just sits at a pretty big yikes.
growing pains, lots of.
Yeah. Pretty much, I agree with that. And like I already alluded, at 27, I do have the Tennessee Titans. I do have them slightly up just because, like, I think I have just a little bit more faith in Cam Ward than you do. I think that will help change this offense. I have faith that Calvin Ridley can still be a fairly competent Calvin Ridley. I don't think they'll be a great football team by any means. Like, you could probably push them down on my list, and I would probably be like, yeah, you know what, that's fair. I just don't think they'll be hot garbage either. So that's kind of why they're just slightly above some of these other teams, in my opinion, just because I just don't think they'll be really bad. But I don't think they'll be good either.
I feel you. For me, at 27, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. I think.
Wow. Okay.
Hold on. I think.
I was just gonna say this is where things are gonna get very interesting because I think you and I are gonna not agree with pretty much anything until we get back to the under 20s.
This is like a preseason. Okay.
Yeah.
That I'm just basing on everything else, and I'm not sure how much Genty changes the complexion of this team. I know you have.
I mean, there's a lot of other changes besides Genty.
Well, you have a new quarterback, and you have Carroll, who loves to run the football. Still,
New scheme.
all of that being said, I don't know if I have two problems. One, I don't know if the Raiders have the pieces to run his scheme, and two, you still only have one guy that can catch the ball.
I mean, I would argue 2 now, but that's fine.
Well, Genty, yes, can catch the football, but he's a running back primarily. He's not going to line up at wide receiver.
I mean, he could actually, but
He could, yes, but still. Point being, you do have a very good running back and somebody that's very good out of the backfield catching the ball, and you've got a tight end that can catch like a beast. You got a new quarterback, somebody who can finally throw the fucking football, and who's very aware of Pete Carroll's system. I just don't know if there's enough pieces here to run it yet, and that's why they're at 27. They could surprise me, and I'm perfectly willing to let them. But they also play in a very loaded AFC West.
no, I know.
So wins are going to be hard to come by, and I just don't know if they're good enough to compete anywhere yet.
No,
Yet.
I get it. I get it. I'm just saying this is going to be a very fun list because
Oh yeah, these lists are always
based upon
blast.
based upon that alone, like typically some of our other lists are much closer. This one is going to be full of wild ups and downs between
Oh,
both of us.
absolutely.
I expect.
I think our next list will be a lot closer, but this one is
Yeah.
always all over the place.
So at 26, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Not far off,
I have.
actually.
I don't have a lot of faith in the Steelers in general, especially recently with some of their decisions. But then bringing in Aaron Rodgers as if that's going to be somehow the fix to all your problems is quite frankly laughable. While also moving off of one of your wide receivers to when you were talking about bringing in a big tandem, right? You're going to have the double wide receivers, and then all of a sudden you got rid of one for some fucking reason. What? Why? Why? Like, why? Um, I just, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. And quite frankly, it feels like the Magic 8 Ball has taken over.
For me, at 26, I have the New England Patriots. I'm not.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not saying they're bad, but new coach, new system. Again, it's that. I understand it's Vrabel. I think they're gonna be way better, but I have to see it first. I would love for them to be better. And if they come out and start blowing the doors off, I'm going to be happy as a clam because I think they've got good pieces. Still a little worried about that wide receiver room, and I still don't think Diggs is the fix.
No, I agree with that part. Yeah, that definitely is true.
Still a little worried about that wide receiver room. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see how all of that plays out. But glad they got a good O-line, or at least pieces of what could be a good O-line to protect your very young Drake May, who I think is the quarterback of the future of that franchise. I think he showed that last year that he was totally worth the pick. So I no longer worry about him. I do worry about their O-line and I worry about their wide receivers. But beyond that, I think they're going to be an okay team. I just don't think they're ready to take that next step yet. Give it another year or two, and I'll probably rank them much higher. They could even come up. They could even come up in the preseason rankings for all I know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. At 25, this is a team that, quite frankly, in my opinion, has been a massive disappointment for the last several years, compared to what you expect from them, or based upon what you see on paper, I should say, which is the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, you look at paper and you go, "Wow, this team looks like they should be really good," and they're consistently underperformers. And I just, this is also not a team that I go out of my way to watch anymore, right? Like you're just like me. There's a lot of other teams I'd rather watch than the Cardinals right now.
Okay. Okay.
I just don't like them.
Okay. That's one we're going to be pretty far apart on. They're not even on my second page.
Yeah.
But, as you just mentioned, the 25 for me is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're a cracked shield now, man. Everything about the way they used to play the game is falling apart. I know they just picked up that one of the running backs from Iowa that I was high on coming into the draft. But I don't know that that's going to help them all that much. They haven't been able to get good running back talent. Najee Harris had a good season and then kind of fell off. A lot of their guys have done that where they've had a good season and then fallen off. They haven't been able to get consistent running back play since Le'Veon Bell?
Probably Le'Veon, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. And now you've got a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers on his retirement horse. I
Yep.
don't like it. I think you're toast this year, guys. I think this is finally the year the McCarthy magic ends. Or not McCarthy, Tomlin. Who's a
Tomlin,
Mike.
yep. He is a Mike.
He's a
That is
Mike.
true.
This is the year the Tomlin magic just ends.
Probably. Probably. All right, fair enough. Going to 24, I have another one on here that maybe we might not agree on. We'll see. But I have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 24.
Actually, you're not
Um,
that far off.
okay. Um, I thought it still feels a little weird to have them this low because of everything that they've done to change. But that's the problem, is that there's a lot of question marks upon what are you going to look like. We just don't know. You have a new coach for now. I mean, what is this? The quarterback now has had 3 coaches now. Who knows what that does. We, as much as I want to believe in Hunter being the best thing that's since sliced bread, we just don't know 100% yet. We have to wait and see. Same thing with anything else going on with that team. It's just a lot of kind of wait and see how it all plays out. I think that they will shoot up my leaderboards. I think that they are a better team than 24, but just kind of have to wait and see.
I'm sure that the team I have here is going to make you go, "What are you thinking? You're on drugs."
Probably.
Because here I have a team. I'm just going to say it. It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, you are on drugs, but that's okay.
Hold on. I have my reasons. This team is a glass cannon. It's all offense. It's all offense all the time.
That was last year, but that's okay.
That's this year too. Who's running back?
I think they're better this year.
I disagree. Who's their running back?
Running back has nothing to do with glass cannon. I'm saying defensively they are better.
I'm telling you right now, and here's why.
Defensively, they're better.
They got one good piece defensively.
They kept one of their good ones, and they got another good one.
Well, their
defense is better.
Yet.
I mean, come on. You know it's going to at this point. If a guy commits to coming into camp, he's likely going to sign him.
It's 2 edge guys. They still don't have a secondary worth a damn.
We'll see on that.
They still don't have a secondary worth a damn. To me, they are a glass cannon, all air raid, all passes, all the time. If Burrow or any one of those receivers breaks, that whole machine is going to sink to the bottom right quick.
Yeah, I just don't agree with that. But that's okay.
And you cannot agree with it, but that's how I see it. I see them as, because I only really have last year to go off of, and they did finally get Stewart in. Now, I will say I made my list before Stewart signed and while Hendrickson was still sitting out at home. So I did not update after that happened. So that could affect how I see them in the preseason rankings. But as of right now, I looked at it and I just went, you don't have a defense. You've got 2 guys who are sitting out. And your secondary is garbage. And all of your money went to your offense. You're setting yourself up for another year of having to motorboat and boat race people to win. And that's just not sustainable over a long period.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think you're crazy, but that's okay.
That's all right. That's what these rankings are for. Be a little crazy.
You are definitely a little crazy.
Wait till you see who I have number 1.
Well, if you have the Vikings number 1, I should slap the shit out of you.
Be prepared to get slapping.
Oh my god, you should be slapped for even saying that. There's too many questions to be putting them even in the top 10, in my opinion.
Not in my opinion.
At 23, you were the guy that was shitting all over our fucking secondary like just a couple months ago.
Yeah, but I got to thinking about it, and I was not that I'm wrong about it.
Yeah, come on, admit that you're just wrong. If you're gonna play some number 1, you have to admit you're wrong on that. Then.
Not that I'm wrong. There's a reason.
No,
hold on, I will tell you why.
Sir.
When we get there, I will tell you why, sir.
You are out of your gourd. At 23, I have the Carolina Panthers. I think this is an improved Panthers team. I think we still have to wait and see if that progression from Bryce continues. If it does, then I think that they will probably move up the ladder a little bit more, but I don't think they'll be too much higher. They still need to work a little bit more on getting a better defense. I think their offense is fairly set at this point, but I think they're still probably like 1 or 2 years away from being, real contenders. Um, but this is definitely an up year for them based upon what I see.
So at 23, I have the New York Jets. Um, and my
Wow, you're nice.
Well, I have my reasonings on this. If everything clicks, they could be really dangerous. However, the reason they aren't even higher, based on Jets history, they could also fold like a fucking wet napkin. That's the problem. Like, I think Fields is going to be good for them. I think he can energize that offense. I think his ability to move around in the pocket is going to help. I think we'll see a comeback of the running game. I think we'll get to see the receivers go off and do their thing. I think the defense will improve under a defensive-minded head coach that I think is really good. We've seen that with the Lions. He's smart. He can scheme well, I think. He's played defense. He's played in the NFL. I think he knows what he's doing. But we'll all have to see how all of it fits together. And if the Jets, and just being the Jets and being Woody's team, they could just fold like a wet fucking napkin.
True. Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
That's fair. At 22, I have the Vegas Raiders. I have more faith in them than you. I think Pete Carroll is still a fantastic coach. We know Gino's gotten the most out of his career under Pete Carroll. I think that's something to consider. Pete Carroll has a history of doing good things with running backs, especially great running backs. Even good ones, he gets pretty good out of. I think Genty he'll get a lot out of. Pairing him up with a decent pass catcher, or, well, I should say a really good pass catcher in Bowers. And I think, some of those other wide receivers they have, aren't as great. I think we've seen that Bowers is going to attract a lot of attention. So I think it'll be easier for some of those less skilled wide receivers to pick up a little bit more space. So I think this will be a pretty decent Raiders team. I don't think they'll be great, but I do think they'll be okay.
I can't say that that's bad. We're within 5 of each other.
No.
So I'm not mad at that. Like, that's pretty. Like, I could see the adjustment on mine as well. For number 22, I have a team you've already mentioned. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, yeah.
As I said, I may eat my words on this one, but as of now, this isn't great, but it could be worse.
Oh, yeah.
If Hunter turns out to be all that bag of chips, and Lawrence finally steps up and stops being wishy-washy, and BTJ continues his good run, maybe you've got something here. I'm sorry if that's coming through. They're doing the lawn at my building.
I can't really hear anything, but
Okay. But yeah, I don't know how far I want to trust them, new coach and everything, and I guess we'll see, right?
pretty much. Pretty much. All right, 221. At 21, I have the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons.
Far off.
I think that this is a fairly reasonable spot for them. I think they'll be fairly good under Penix. But it'll be his true full first year. We'll see how that works out for him. We got questions on some defense concerns. They still lack some defense, in my opinion. Their offense is still going to be fairly good, so I think that they'll be a decent team with a okay-ish defense, but it could be a significantly better if they would fucking finally draft defensive needs. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I mean, they drafted a couple of edge rushers, but we'll get there when I get to the Falcons.
Yeah, but they historically haven't been drafting very well defensively.
Yeah, very soon I will get to them, but not yet, because at number 21 I have a different team, and I might get called nuts for this, but based on the season they had last year, and based on what happened to them in the offseason, I have zero faith. And it's the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh, okay. We are pretty far apart on that, but that's fair. I get it. I get why.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a guy at running back who's notoriously injured and is coming off a season where he didn't play because he had all sorts of weird things going on. You've got one guy at receiver who's coming off a major, I believe it was an ACL reconstructive knee surgery. You've got another one who is this time last year had gotten shot in the chest twice. You've got yet another one who wants a new deal and I don't think has reported to camp. And yeah, and then you've got another one that's tiny. Kittle isn't getting any younger, and you're going to have to pay, or did pay, Purdy.
They did pay him.
Yep, you had to pay Purdy. You lost a lot of pieces on your defense, got snagged from you by other teams because you had to pay Purdy. So yeah, I think your window is closed, and you should retool. But that's just me. You had that little window there where McCaffrey was healthy and everything was clicking and Purdy was on his rookie deal. That to me was your window. And now it's closed. And now you've got to figure out what you're going to do about it.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
At least you can understand what I see in this, at least.
I originally had them lower down on my list, but I did some thinking and changed my list, so that's why I'm like I can understand, but we are pretty far off.
That's fine.
Like I said, I'll explain my reasoning as well.
No, that's perfectly acceptable. All right, 20 for you.
All right, at 20, I have the Seattle Seahawks. I think they'll be a good team. I only have them this low because I just have questions about how that O-line is going to be. I know that they have improved it, but we got to see how that's going to work. Sam Darnold for Geno Smith. That'll be another question. Was Sam Darnold just really good because he was in a really good scheme with the Vikings? Or is Sam Darnold actually finally, a good QB, a good starting QB? That's questions we're going to find out pretty quick here. And then on top of the fact that, like, you got one guy you can really throw to confidently, and the running back situation is, good, but could be better. Defense is fine. Like, I think this will be an okay team. I just think there's some questions at major spots on the team.
That's fair. I mentioned that we were not far off on Atlanta. At number 20, I have Atlanta. The Falcons. Kirk was bad last season. I venture so far as to say he was downright unplayable.
Yes.
And while Penix looked decent, he still looked, I guess the word I'd use is raw.
Yes.
You didn't really upgrade anywhere on offense. But you did finally get some edge rushers, but we'll see how that works out because you haven't really drafted well on defense lately. Did he headbutt you?
No, I headbutt him. He nipped my nose, so I headbutt him.
Well, now he's learned.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I still don't think that this is going to be great. I think there's problems.
I agree. I'm obviously only one position down from that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we're not very far off on the Panthers or the Seahawks either.
At 19, I have the New England Patriots. I have more faith in them than you. I think Drake May is definitely their quarterback of the future. I think that their running game is going to be okay, just like it has been with Stevenson. I think their throwing game, while is definitely improved with Diggs, I don't think is the final solution, obviously, to their wide receiver woes either. But it is an improvement. That defense, I think you can never count out a defense that's Patriots defense, but let alone one that Mike Vrabel's running. I think that's going to be a hard-nosed fought defense. So I think 19's a fair spot. I think they will be pretty close to the middle of the road team. They'll be okay. They won't be great. This is still another rebuild year. I think next year is probably where we're going to see a significantly better Patriots team, as long as they draft well, of course.
Yeah. For me at 19, I have the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
I absolutely love what they did in the offseason. Love, 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 love all of it. Well, except that tight end. I was pretty pissed off about that. But
You were pretty pissed off about that, yeah.
then they went out and they got LB3 in the draft, and I was like, okay, now I'm less mad because that was a fantastic grab for them. I think they did a good job of putting some things together. Maybe they're planning to run a dual tight end set with Komet and the new tight end Colston. But we'll see how all that works out. But anyway, the big question is if they can put it together in the regular season. And so far, I'm not loving what I'm hearing out of Chicago's camp, which is apparently Ben Johnson is pissed at the starters, and he sacked them multiple times. Pulled them all off the field for bad mistakes and stupid errors and unforced crap. He's apparently going to run rough on them, so...
Well, that's probably a good thing, though, to get that culture change, probably.
But at the same time, if you have to do it all these times over and over and over again, it means they're not getting it.
Well, he has to change the culture one way or another, and that's got to be the way. I imagine... I honestly, I would not be surprised if Campbell did the same thing, which is why he's doing it, because he saw how Campbell did it with Detroit. So he's like, I know what has to be done.
Yeah, probably.
It's just for whatever reason that culture has probably been so bad for so long, you know.
Yep. All right, that's what I got. 19
on
at the Bears.
Yep, at 18, I have a team that normally I have higher up on my lists, but I gotta face the facts. The Miami Dolphins are not a great football team anymore.
We're not very far off.
They have so many issues, whether it be Tua throwing himself headfirst into defenders, or whether it be Devon Achane getting injured, or whether it be Tyreek Hill getting injured, or whether it be anybody on their fucking team made of glass getting injured. Like, it just... it's so frustrating seeing a team that, on paper, should be so much better than the sum of their parts. And just consistently being a letdown, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's no better way to put it. They've been a big letdown. And at this point, if I'm ownership, I think Mike McDonald might be on the chopping block pretty soon.
Yeah.
If he doesn't figure out a way to turn this around.
Yeah, I agree. At 18, I have the Carolina Panthers. I'm a little higher on them than you are because I really liked what I saw the back half of the season from Bryce.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But the question is, and you brought it up, can they keep that momentum going? I hope they can. They also added for him that beastly wide receiver, Teteroa McMillan.
Yep.
The Tet.
The Tet, yep.
Yeah, the Tet, I think that's going to be brilliant for them. I was a little mad that they didn't go with a defensive back, but you know what? You've got at least one really good wide receiver. You've got an old man wide receiver who can probably teach that
still
young
catch.
wide receiver. And he can still catch. And you've got Leggett who can hopefully leg it.
He is fast. He just needs to develop his hands a little better.
Yep, and I hope that's what happens in this offseason is that he spends some time doing that. He's also really fun to talk to, apparently.
He does. He's hard to understand, apparently, though.
So, no, I'm very happy with that team overall, but we'll have to see how much they can keep going.
That's fair. At 17, I have a good old classic that just kind of sits around in this vein, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they're a top 10 team. I think they're kind of in this, 11 to 15. I technically have them at 17, but they're not far off kind of that range-ish. They're good, they're competent, they can be really good at times, but they can't be consistently really good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. At 17, I have the Seahawks. Um,
Okay.
is Darnold good or lucky? Does Cup still have anything left? Is
Yeah.
JSN ready to take over as the primary receiver? What's their O-line like? Honestly, I don't know. This team is going to probably be very fun to watch, but they're super risky.
Pretty much. Pretty much. All right. At 16, I have the Chicago Bears. Um, I do have faith that Ben Johnson will bring a culture change and will change this team. I just don't know if it's going to be in time for the regular season. So I just have them down here because I think that they will be good eventually this season, but it might be just the back half that's good.
At 16, I have the Miami Dolphins. Tua is still made out of tissue paper. The Cheetah is 30 and starting to decline. A-Chain can't stay healthy. Yeah, I think the window's closed, man. I think you went out and you got a perpetually hurt tight end.
Yeah,
It's like you're trying to get the all IR team.
we are made of glass and we know it.
That's Miami, the glass team.
Pretty much.
If anybody's a glass cannon now, it's Miami.
Pretty much, yeah. They've turned into we love speed, we don't care if you break.
Yeah. If it all works and everybody stays healthy, it's going to be beastly.
It's amazing, yeah.
But that's the point, is that everybody has to stay healthy.
And I don't think it's happened for several seasons at this point.
It has not.
So, no, that's fair. All right, at 15, I have the LA Chargers. I think they're a good team. I still have some questions on what the team's going to look like with the new running back and how everything's going to work together. Their last season was good, but not great. I think we'll probably get a slightly better season, but I still think we have one more season before I think the entire scheme really fits in 100%. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are far better than I think they are. But I just gotta see it first. Right now, I'm kind of going on small information, and I've heard nothing bad, but I haven't heard anything super great either. It's been very quiet in the Chargers camp for me.
So for me at 15, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I can understand where you come from on them, but I look at them and I see a vastly improved defense. I mean, they did draft Will Johnson. They got another good edge rusher that they stole away from the Eagles. They've added extra pieces. Yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. did not blow the doors off like we expected in season 1, but we know the talent is there. And I expect this year, without all the legal troubles and everything else that's been bothering him, he'll have had time to concentrate on improving, and I think we'll see a major improvement in year 2. I think the running back room is only going to get better. Overall, I have them up here because I think they're better than they were last year. But they could drop very quickly and wind up down in the 20s if they don't fucking show off right away.
Yeah. Hey, you got more faith than I do, that's for sure.
Yes, I do.
At 14, I have the Texans. And this is only going off of the fact that was a rough last year for them. I realize a lot of it was injuries, but we got to see that those players come back from injury, that they're still ready to go. We have to wait and see if Stroud is going to take a step back forward after, let's be honest, a down year for him for sure. That O-line didn't do him much favors, so we'll see if that's going to be improved or not. I still think that this is a team that could easily shoot up my board very quickly, but that last year was rough enough where I'm being a little cautious, so to speak.
At number 14, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Improved, kind of. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs because nobody else in their division is better. You play in a division with Atlanta, New Orleans, and Carolina. You're going to make the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Probably,
None of them are going to challenge you for that divisional crown.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I as much as I panned them for grabbing another wide receiver, I get it. Both your wide receivers are starting to get older. Williams isn't exactly getting any younger, but I still think he's a 1,000-yard threat. I get what's his name? Was it Goodwin?
Godwin. Yep.
Godwin, yeah. He's good, but again, it's also starting to creep up there. So you went out and you got Abuka. I'm not mad at you for it.
I've heard he's been doing great at camp.
Exactly, I've heard the same thing. So, I mean, for all I care, you guys are probably going to repeat as NFC South champions, and more power to you.
That's fair. At 13, I am now finally being realistic, and we're going to talk about it. 13 is the Vikings, and I'm going to be realistic, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because this team has too many questions at the moment. We don't know what JJ is going to look like. We just don't know. I think he will be great, and that this will be a stronger team, but we just don't know. He literally hasn't played a snap in the NFL. We have no idea. We just don't know. Granted, you just have to be a decent quarterback with the system that we have. I get that. And obviously, he's got to stay healthy. Hopefully that was just a weird one-off thing, right? Defensively, I think they'll still be a good team. But there's still questions when you have a quarterback change like that. There are questions on if that offense will run properly and be able to outcompete your defense, basically. And so I'm still being tentative. I'm being cautious. I think they'll be a great football team, but I want to see it first. I think they're one of the few teams on my list that'll move up probably pretty fucking quick, but I need to see it first.
All right. Number 13, I have the Broncos. We'll talk about my feelings when I get to where the Vikings are. I already know where they are for me.
You're out of your fucking mind, sir.
13, though, I have the Broncos, and I do think this team could be really, really good. Unfortunately, they do share a division with the Chiefs and the Chargers, which I think this division is going to be the second best division in football, in my opinion. It's going to be a hell of a dogfight, and it's going to be fun to watch. I really liked what I saw out of Bo Nix last year. I think he's only going to get better. I haven't heard anything about Jahdae Barron, so I don't know if he's good or bad out of camp. We'll have to keep our eyes out. But I like them at 13.
It's fair. Not too far off. At 12, I do have the Green Bay Packers. I have questions about Golden Tate. You and I have kind of been on the same page of he, to us, feels more smoke and mirrors than he is the miracle that they're hoping for. But we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe we'll be proven wrong. Maybe that will be the answer that they need finally at a wide receiver one. Who knows? But Jordan Love definitely feels a lot like the gunslinger mentality that Green Bay likes. He does fit that mold very well. And with that is going to come some really close wins and some really heartbreaking losses. And for me, that puts them just outside the top 10. I don't think their defense is as good as it has been in the past to be able to carry an offense like that yet. So I think that they're not quite a top 10 team. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll be better. But I think this is roughly where they're going to be.
All right. At number 12, I have the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
It's right within the range you expected. You said 11 to like 15, and I have them at 12. And I really, really wanted to put them lower, but God, do they have all the talent in the fucking world on this team? You have one of the best defenses.
Can't ever do anything with it.
Exactly. They have all the talent in the world, except where new coach Schottenheimer would want it, which is in the RB room, because he likes to run the football, and you don't really have anybody that can do that for them. I mean, they picked up that kid from Denver, and you drafted Jaden Blue. And that's it.
Yep.
I don't know what this team is going to be. It could be really good, or they could sink like a rock to the bottom of their division. I don't know. I just don't know. Their division is also going to be really tough this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right. Um, at 11, I have the 49ers. The reason for my why I have them here is I like to kind of go by enigmas. If we go by history, last year was an odd one out with a bunch of injuries. I realize offseason they did lose a decent amount of parts, but I think Kyle Shanahan is one of those types of coaches that can get the most out of even mediocre players. I think this will be still a very competent team. I think it'll be a scheme heavy run team, not run, but like you know what I mean. I think it'll be one of those teams that's going to run less on having an immense amount of talent and back to old school. We're just going to outthink them with our plays, um, and I think they can do that. I think Kyle Shanahan's the type of coach that can make that work. He's done it before. He's done great things with worse teams before, in my opinion. So I think being right around under the top 10-ish range is not necessarily an unexpected result, in my opinion. But
But they
we'll
could
see.
also fall off very quickly.
Oh, they could absolutely tank it, especially with injuries. If injuries plague them again, they're gonna be toast.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see. But I think that they could be right around this area.
All right. My number 11 is the Chargers. I think they're an improved team from even last year. Um, I like Omari and Hampton for this team. I want to see him run the ball with them. I think that'll be fun to watch. I don't know what's going on with Najee Harris. Is he a Pirate now?
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe he is. Um, but I like Omari and Hampton. I like their offensive line. Um, big fan of Lad McConkey, obviously. Um, we'll see how they can do, but I think they could actually be good this year.
That's fair.
Top 10.
Uh, at number 10, my very first top 10. At 10, I have the Denver Broncos. I do agree that they are an improved team. I think Bo Nix is their guy. I think Sean Payton got the quarterback he wanted. I think Sean Payton has finally built the team roughly that he wanted when he first showed up at Denver. Um, it was very clear that first season we were questioning, is Sean Payton good, or did he just really not like that team? The answer is pretty obvious now at this point. He really didn't like that team and wanted his own team, and that's why that first year was so shit. Because it's ever since then it's been just going steadily uphill for the Denver Broncos. I think that defense is going to be a very scary defense. I think the only thing that's going to keep them potentially out of, getting higher on this list is simply down to, will that defense be able to score enough points to stay up there? But they might, because that defense is going to be really mean. So I don't know, but they are definitely going to be, I think, a really really good team.
I don't disagree. At number 10, I have the Houston Texans because I firmly believe last year was a fluke. I don't think we're going to see that again. I think they're going to be a fantastic team this year. I think getting Nick Chubb and having Mixon in the backfield is going to be absolutely banger. I think that this team is improved from last year, and I think we're going to absolutely see them take over the AFC South and dominate it.
We'll see. We'll see. At number 9, I have the Bengals. Despite your absolute mockery of what you said earlier, I think this is a vastly great team. That offense will motorboat people, as proven by last year alone. Despite how bad that defense was last year, the fact that they still motorboated most of their games and won a decent chunk and almost made playoffs on it,
No,
I
no,
think proves that they absolutely can motorboat people if their defense is even marginally better than what it was last year. And I think it is marginally better than what it was last year.
I'm more
So
worried that if Chase or Burrow or Higgins gets
if
hurt,
one of them gets hurt, yeah, you're gonna have issues. But I'm not really necessarily taking that super into account because most of them have been durable. Burrow's the only one that's been hurt, and he hasn't been since that first season and a half, roughly. So he's been mostly good. And I don't. T. Higgins hasn't really dealt with injuries, and so far neither has Jamar, outside of like some small issues here and there. Nothing major, anyways. So Oh, I just have faith that this team's going to be really good outside of, having a subpar defense, but they'll make it work again somehow.
All right, at number 9, I have the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they're good. I don't care. Let's move on.
Fair. You're being way too nice to them.
I am, but again, I know they're good. I know they're going to be one of the top teams of the North. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on.
At number 8, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that they are a great team. I think Emeka Ibuka, it was a great pickup at this time. I was curious about it because I'm like, well, you already got two really good wide receivers, but then looking at the potential health issues and potential age issues, it makes sense now. I think this will be a really good football team. I think they'll continue to be a good football team as long as they let Baker bake. As long as Baker bakes, I think they'll be fine.
At number 8, I have the LA Rams. I have learned, do not sleep on the Rams.
I've been saying this the last 2 years we've been doing this,
and
man.
I am all in now. They're in my top 10. They may not start good. They may get injuries, but by the end of the damn season, they'll go on a run and they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, dude, it's
I
the
don't
Rams,
get it,
man.
but it's
That's what
going
they
to
do.
happen.
That's what they do. It's the
They
Stafford
lose the
effect,
best,
I
they
swear.
lose the best defensive lineman on the planet, and then they replace him with 2 people.
Yeah,
And don't even miss a beat.
which I thought was hilarious. How you're like, that's impossible, and then they do it, and they go, well,
Well,
what about now?
what about now? I think the funniest one to me is, did you ever see the interview with Jared Verse where he's talking about the workout that he did with Aaron Donald?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he was like, I felt like I was being kidnapped, man.
It's great stuff.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Funnily enough, though, going to 7, I have the LA Rams. Yeah, like you said, this is just a team that is just good. It doesn't matter how they get there; they will always end good. I don't know how. I don't know why. They're an enigma as far as I'm concerned, but they're always fun as fuck to watch. Stafford makes them really fun to watch. He just does. I don't know what it is with Stafford and the way he played. It was the same thing with Lions games. It didn't matter when he was on the Lions if they were losing. He still made it entertaining to watch.
At number 7, I have the Washington Commanders. I loved what they did last year. Can they do it again, or are they in for the sophomore slump that the Texans went through?
It's possible.
Either way,
However,
it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, however, we'll see. We'll see it. It'll be fun. Funnily enough, though, at number 6, I have the Commanders. We're just kind of, I'm just like one above you
you're
over here.
One above me all the way.
Yeah, I think all the way probably at this point
Yep.
because I know exactly who you have at number 1, and I don't know why you've done it, sir. But
I'll
you are
explain it.
insane.
I am.
But Commanders, back to Commanders, like you're saying, I think that they will be good. I don't think they'll have that slump. I think the only concern is going to be about teams taking closer looks at them and trying to outplay them now. Because now that they've proven that they can do it, that means more eyeballs are going to be watching what they do.
Yep. So at number 6, I have the Detroit Lions. I still think they have all the talent, but I'm wondering if they can cope with a loss of some of their identity since they lost both their coordinators. Yes, you still have the main identity guy with Campbell, but how the next guys, I want to see how that works out.
No, I agree. I agree. At 5, I have the Detroit Lions for pretty much the same reason. I mean, I do have some questions about some of the losses. We'll see how that integrates. I don't think much will change, but you never know. Gotta hedge your bets a little bit.
Yep. At number 5, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. Lost a ton from their Super Bowl winning season last year. Lots of pieces on the defense, especially, and at best you put a little patch on it. I'm also worried, can Barkley stay healthy all season, because he's shown he gets a heavy use season and then immediately gets hurt the next season. So I don't know if he's going to make it all the way through this next upcoming season. He had a masterclass of a season last year. What happens when he goes out, or if he gets injured this year?
Yeah, we'll see. At 4, I have the Chiefs. I put the Chiefs at 4. I am tired of the Black Magic nonsense. They did not deserve to be in that Super Bowl. I think that's proven by getting slapped, destroyed. I don't know what other way to word it by the Eagles. They were just decimated. They never did deserve that Super Bowl in my opinion. They were not that good of a team last year. I think that they are marginally better than they were last year. The only reason they're this high up is because of that fucking Black Magic nonsense, and I'm tired of it.
At number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills. Um, they're still the Bills. They're still really good, and Josh Allen is still the man. Um, as long as you have Allen, you have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and I want to see them get over the hump one of these upcoming years.
Yeah, that's fair. At number 3, I have the Bills for pretty much the same reason. I think they're a really good football team. I think as long as Josh Allen's on that team, you have a chance at a Super Bowl. And at some point, eventually, they will definitely get there. We'll see when it is, but hopefully sooner rather than later.
At number 3, I have the Ravens. Still a masterclass of a team. Absolutely, absolutely stupidly fantastic. Can they finally crest the hump? That's the big thing. Can you finally win the big game and make it past the AFC Championship and the fucking Chiefs?
Yeah, right, for sure. At number 2, I have the Eagles. I mean, it's hard to really have them too much lower than this for me because I know they did lose a lot of pieces, but you win the Super Bowl. You kept a lot of your major talent. I know there's some talent that left, obviously, but it's hard to doubt the team that just won the Super Bowl until you see it otherwise. So they're here. I'm not shocked, but here we are.
Number 2, I have the Chiefs. And until otherwise stated, as much as I hate their black magic bullshit nonsense, they are the team to beat in the AFC.
Yeah. At number 1, I actually have the Ravens. I think the Ravens are a better football team than pretty much every other team in the AFC at the moment. Um, they just need to get over the black magic that is the Chiefs, and I think that they are probably the best team in the NFL right now. So,
All right, at number 1, we all know I
there you
put
go.
the Vikings up here. Now,
You're fucking gourd.
accuse me of favoritism all you want.
I already have. You are out of your gourd.
But I have reasons for this. First off, yes, the QB hasn't played it down in the NFL, but can you think of a better location to land for a QB that hasn't done that than a wide receiver room that has Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, and then you have T.J. Hawkinson as your tight end?
I mean, Jordan Addison's probably going to get suspended, but yeah.
I mean, well, 3-4 games. But
Yeah.
still. And even then, you picked up that kid from Maryland. Like Kai
Yeah.
Felton, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been good. So, I mean, you've got enough pieces there that I'm not worried about that. Second, the O-line is unquestionably much better than it was last year.
Should be.
You have
Yes.
an all-pro center, an all-pro guard. You brought in a rookie guard, so we don't know what he's going to be. And then you have 2 all-pro tackles. And if they all stay healthy this year, that line is a wall. You're not getting through it. So you're not going to have to worry about running around. You've got a decent running back in Jones. He could really get going. I'm not worried about that. The secondary. Do I have concerns? Yes. Do you know why I don't have that many concerns? Because it's really hard to throw the football while you're running for your fucking life. And our defensive front and our blitz packages are probably going to make people run for their lives. Dallas Turner and what was that kid's name last year that was all over? Van Ginkel, AVG, and everything else. I think we have one of the best defensive fronts in football, if you were to ask me. And I think that our linebacking core and our defensive line will make up for our lack of depth and talent in the secondary. I think by forcing people to run and move around, we're going to do really, really well. And, you know, while I worry about the secondary, I do think we'll be okay. Just because it's hard to throw a football when you've got a dude like Dallas Turner trying to pull your head off. Or when you've got Van Ginkel lurking in the secondary in the middle of the field and you don't see him there, and then suddenly he pops up and picks your ball off. And the next down, the dude's coming in trying to smash your face into the dirt.
I just think there's too many questions, man.
See, I disagree. I understand there's questions about the quarterback. And I understand there's questions in the secondary. I've got literally questions about nothing else on this team but those two pieces. And even then, again, I think the quarterback is being dropped into one of the best possible positions with two established wide receivers, with at least one that I think is the best wide receiver in football, and Hawkinson, who's one of the best tight ends in football, and an offensive line that I think might be one of the best in football.
What are you doing? Stop biting me.
And that's my feeling on it. Is just there's so many bright spots on this team that I think it's going to be very difficult. And then you've got one of the best coaching staffs in football. KOC is brilliant, and you know that the defensive coordinator has no desire to go head coach again, and he's brilliant on defense. I think we have a very, very, very good team, and I am hyped for this season. I am way more hyped for this season than I was for last season. I cannot wait to see JJ get out there and play. I'm very hyped for it. I'm very excited to see what happens. Now, that being said, I could end up eating my words if JJ sucks. And I mean, but he would have to be Anthony Richardson levels of bad for this team to really stink. So, that's my theory on the Vikings and why I have them at number 1. I could be wrong. I don't think I am.
I think you are, but that's okay.
That's all right. We're allowed to disagree. These are preseason rankings. You have now heard our 1 to 32. I'm pretty sure most of you think I'm nuts and Chris is fine. I think his rankings are about where most people would have teams. I, on the other hand, am willing to experiment a little more and take bigger risks. We'll see how all of this turns out. Are any of you, or by the time this comes out, did any of you watch the Hall of Fame game? What were your thoughts? I'm going to view some of it tonight. In the meantime, I haven't got anything else. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
All right, guys. With that, we'll end up this podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you either the very last week of August or the very first week of September to do our preseason rankings. And then, of course, obviously, you'll be seeing us weekly after that as we break down each week in football and we talk about what we think and what we know, and we'll talk some other things, and then hockey season will eventually start, and we'll get that, and we'll go from there. So, thank you all for joining us. We believe in you. If you put your mind to it, we know that you can achieve it. We would ask that if you do like what we do here and you do enjoy what we are doing, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, let us know that you enjoy our content. It really does help us out with the algorithm and whatnot. We'll say, until next time, stay bearded. Peace out. Bird here. Got a bird here. Got a bird here.
Fluffy and soft.